Most people think central banks are acting separately, but the pattern says something much larger is tightening at the same time. Across Asia, currencies are under pressure. India, Indonesia, South Korea, and Japan are all facing different local problems, but they share one common constraint. The global dollar system is not supplying easy liquidity. When that happens, a falling currency is not just a foreign exchange story, it becomes a funding story, a reserve story, and eventually a policy story. This is why the recent moves by central banks matter. We are seeing officials intervene, warn markets, adjust liquidity operations, and in some cases lean against currency weakness even when domestic growth is not strong enough to justify aggressive tightening. That is the key inversion. Central banks are not responding to strength, they are responding to stress. The headline version says this is about inflation or geopolitics. Those are real inputs, but they are not the whole structure. The deeper issue is that global money conditions remain tight. A strong dollar raises the cost of balance sheet protection for countries and institutions that rely on dollar funding. The more the dollar rises, the more local authorities must choose between defending the currency, supporting domestic credit, and preserving reserves. Those choices are not free. If a central bank defends the currency too aggressively, it can drain domestic liquidity. If it ignores the currency, imported inflation and funding pressure can build. If it uses reserves, markets start asking how long that buffer can last. This is how a currency problem becomes a credit cycle problem. Japan is especially important because it sits at the center of global funding psychology. A weaker yen is not just a Japanese issue. It affects carry trades, reserve behavior, bond market expectations, and the way investors think about dollar scarcity. When multiple Asian currencies weaken together, it suggests the pressure is not isolated, it is systemic. That does not mean a dramatic collapse is guaranteed. The point is more practical. Global markets are revealing that liquidity is still scarce beneath the surface. Central banks can slow that process, but they cannot easily manufacture offshore dollar elasticity on demand. So watch the reaction function. If policymakers become more defensive while growth data softens, that tells us the market is forcing their hand. It also tells us the next phase is less about a single policy rate and more about funding channels, reserve use, and credit transmission. The signal is not panic. The signal is constraint. And in global markets, constraints are what turn local problems into broader cycles over time globally. I'm Grant Whitmore. Follow for clearer frameworks on liquidity, credit, and how global markets really fit together.